Finally got it to work. Hopefully there's sound as well. I think we are cooking with gas. Yay! I am so sorry, guys. As many of you know, we had the retreat last weekend. We used the computer with the camera and everything to project up onto the screen so people can see what we're demonstrating. And I've got everything all set up and it worked. And then when I came to go live, for some reason none of the cameras wanted to play nicely. I've had 3 reboots of the computer, so sorry I've been delayed. Thank you very much for anyone who's still here. Hey Karen, hey Shona. Thank you for having patience with me. And I do have exciting stuff to share with you. Yay, exciting. So let me flip this round and let's stick on our Blackpool illuminations so you can see the lights. It's getting so dark out there as well. Plus, do you guys have snow? I know there's snow in a lot of places. So, okay, so these are the latest kits. These are 2 brand new kits that came out in November. I'm going to show you both of them and then we're going to assemble one. You'll see very quickly why we're not assembling both of them. At least I think you will. This particular kit is the Nature's Painting kit. So, let me open up the box and show you what you get. Look! You get 8 watercolor pencils and a watercolor brush. And then you get this. This is so gorgeous. So this is the Nature's Painting kit. And if I open this up, at first when I saw a demo of it, I was like, are they still going to put it in the fancy box and like give us it all together? And they do. So you have got this book of beautiful line drawings. Just going to flick through. It's got a really thick bit of chipboard at the back. They're single-sided. The paper is really thick. I mean, I wouldn't call this paper. I would call this cardstock. So you can colour these in and put them in frames. You can make them as card fronts. Now you get 2 of each kind, 2 of each design. Does it tell you how many you get? We'll look at the instructions in a minute. But you've got 2 of this design, 2 of this floral design. This one's like a frame. I'm not going through the whole thing. There's poppies. There's like tropical leaves. That's another one that could be like a frame. You could put a sentiment in the middle there. Sunflowers, leaves and acorns. Mistletoe. Oh, poinsettias and holly. That would be a beautiful Christmas card. And then you've got some blank pages at the back as well. So the clue is in the name here, Nature's Painting Kit. So they are all flowers and leaves and nature inspired. And then of course you've got the coloured pencils, the watercolour brushes. There are instructions in here as well. I'm just curious as to see what the instructions say. You know, all of our kits come with instructions. So the pencils, so the pencils that we've got here, so Berry Burst, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Flirty Flamingo, Garden Green, Pumpkin Pie and Real Red. So all the colours that you would need basically to colour these in. Ah yes, so it gives you suggested colourways and patterns to do. So it suggests, you know, for this one to use these colours, and it even gives you techniques on how to use them. So, you know, go round the edges first and then use your watercolour brush to bring the colour in. It's really cool. It shows you how to do different techniques and blending to build up the effects that you need. It gives it to you in the different orders. I think that's really cool. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different designs, and you get 2 of each. So there's 24 in the pack, plus the 8 watercolour pencils, plus the brush. Hey Linda, glad you're here. It is a fabulous kit, this one. So this kit, again, would be an amazing Christmas present for someone. Because it's literally everything you need to get started. All you need to do is fill that up with water out the tap. You've got all the pencils that you need, and you've got this. And it's I love the boxes that our kits come in. I think they're beautifully packaged. But this is an amazing kit. Having said that, you might want to know how much it costs. That might have been something that would have been useful to tell you in advance. Let me have a quick look and see if I can see how much this kit comes up at. £24 it comes up at. So basically £1 per postcard, plus you get all the pencils and everything afterwards. £24 for that kit, and it's called Nature's Paintings Kit. So the other kit, as I say, I'm not going to demo that one tonight because you don't really want to sit and watch me colour in. At least I don't think you do. But this other kit is called Layered Landscapes Kit. It's also £24. It's in a square box and it's in a very deep box. So that gives you an idea of the size of this kit. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So, first of all, we've got this packet with instructions. We'll open that up in a minute. And then you've got, take these out of the box, 4 frames. Now these are box frames. I think they're a bit deeper than the ones that we had for the Hello Houseplants kit. It's fairly similar to that kit, I think, only this time instead of it being houseplants, it's landscapes. They also don't have a cover on the top, so you've got this as the backing, and they don't have any glass or plastic in the top, and that's because these are going to be 3D. So let me pop the rest of those frames off to one side. Let me put this... Actually, before I take the frame away, the other thing that's quite cool about this one, which is different to the Hello Houseplants one, you've got the bit to stand up, but you've also got a hanger. Whereas the last kits, they only had a hanger, they didn't have the stand up bit. So they've taken on some feedback and given us a slightly different frame this time, which I think is really cool. So let's pop that to one side. Let's have a look at what is included. So first of all, there is, as always, the instructions. Tells you step by step everything you need to do. Tells you everything that comes in the kit. The colours: balmy blue, basic beige, basic grey, berry burst, Cajun craze, crumb cake, early espresso, grey granite, lemon lime twist, misty moonlight, mossy meadow, night of navy, pecan pie and soft sea foam. Whew, there are a lot of different colours. And it makes all 4 of these different pictures. So, let's see how we're doing for time. See how many of these we can get through. I appreciate that we were late starting because of technical difficulties. But, right, so we've got 2 sheets of foam strips. And these are quite large foam strips as well. They're almost about as wide as the mini dimensionals. And so we've got 2 pages of those, 2 sheets of those. Then we've got 4 of the white frames. So kind of like, what do you call these, mounts? Frames to go inside the actual frames. Let's pop them there. Then we've got these. Oh, these are really pretty. Right. I don't know if they're in order. Let's start with the instructions, because I'm kind of loath to start taking everything to pieces in case it's best to keep them in this order. So this is one of the background pieces. And then you use this piece with it. You also use this piece as well. And you use this piece, and you use this piece. I think they have done them in order. Okay, because they're in order, I'm not going to just go through all of the pieces. We're actually just going to do each one in turn. So You start off with the base plate, which is about 6 by 6. So we've got this one here. And then it says, it shows you in the instructions step by step. So this is the next one to go on. And it tells you to put foam pads. The instructions, as always, tells you exactly where to put the foam pads each time. So let me just do this following the instructions. I'm going to put that along the bottom and that along the bottom as well. Then we do these ones just a little bit further up. Go, and then it says do one more and have it along the top here. How do you guys feel about kits like this? So the Happy Houseplants one was very much different layers and putting them together and getting those 3D houseplant effects. This seems to be a similar idea but with landscapes. So do you enjoy them? Do you think they're pretty? Do you think they're boring? Do you think they're unimaginative? What are your thoughts? Let's put that on there like so. Okay. And then next we use this mountain piece. So again we do strip right along the bottom. Has anybody here done the Happy Houseplants kit? If you did, what did you think? If you didn't, is it one that you would like to try? Just haven't got around to it? Not your cup of tea? Let me know in the comments what you think of these sort of kits. Again, I know we were saying the watercolouring one that I showed you at the start of the video was good for gifts. I think this is good for gifts as well. I think both the kit and the finished items would make lovely gifts for people. There we go. This is all starting to build up and come together. It's really pretty. So the next one that goes on is this one here. So kind of brown with the trees. Very relaxing, I have to say, just putting this together. It's a bit like, would I say it's a bit like Lego? It's a bit like creative Lego, where you're assembling something to get a beautiful finished project. You're not sure if it's your cup of tea, Karen, but never say never. Oh, that's fine. Keep an open mind on new things. I think especially if you had any friends who were beginner crafters or not sure if they enjoyed crafting, they want something that they can make that's going to be pretty and come together quickly, and they're going to get that sense of achievement from. I think you get a really good sense of achievement with this kit. Last piece that goes on. So there's the backing piece, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different layers in this particular one here. But as you can see, it comes together very quickly, very easily. You did the Happy Houseplant one for your daughter, Linda, and you've just got the watercolour one this afternoon. It is very nice, isn't it? I like them. There we go. So you get this lovely 3D effect. I don't know if you can see all the different layers there. Probably see them from the side. That's really nice. Okay, so then once you've done that, right, so apparently, are there glue dots or are the dots already on here? So looking at the instructions, it suggests that there are also glue dots in here. Let's see if I can find these. These pieces are very, very pretty. Where are the glue dots? Yeah, it does say on the back that there are glue dots included. Oh, there they are. They're still in the packet. And in case you're wondering what the glue dots are for, I'm about to show you. Right, so these both seem to be, there doesn't appear to be a right or a wrong side. Just check and see how this works. By the way, if you're ever using clip frames, your bone folder is absolutely what you want to use to bend back these little metal pieces rather than breaking your fingernails. Trust me on that. Okay, now I understand. So this card piece fits in there, but what they suggest that you do is that you put a glue dot onto here and then press it into place on here, and then this goes on the top. So you don't stick the glue dots to this side, or else you're going to have the frame stuck to the bottom and then kind of stuck at the top there, and that would look weird. So the glue dots are to stick this outline piece to the frame. Now, I know it says to put it onto here. I'm actually going to stick it to the inside of the frame. I think this might work better. It might not. We'll soon find out. But that's what I'm going to try. And I might have been better using my take a pick tool rather than my scissors. But it's in my pencil case and I'm being lazy. So let's try this. You're not really sure either, Shona. At the retreat, you liked the cards that we made from the pieces. Yeah, that was the a little festive DSP pack that had all the ephemera bits, and the cards made from that were so simple and so easy. I think sometimes more experienced crafters think that kits or ephemera or things like that are cheating in some way, but I think the cards were still beautiful. So, and the people you give the cards to, I'm sure would be very happy with them. Especially if you've got hundreds and hundreds of cards to make. There's no shame in making life easier for yourself. You like the 3D effect, Karen? It is a lovely 3D effect, this kit. So, right, let's drop this in. Round, and then let's put that. Has the frame got an acetate protector layer? No, it doesn't. So the Happy Houseplants did have like a clear layer in the front of the frame like you would expect, and I left it out of the frame because, you know, I wanted my houseplants to be this kind of 3D effect. So for this one, they haven't included any acetate or fake glass type layer at all. They've just given you the frame and the back, which I think is very sensible. Let's put this down, see how it looks. There you go. Wow, you get an amazing 3D effect. with this. That's really pretty. Shall I do another one? Let's do one more. We've got, let's show you the different ones and you can pick which one you like. So there's a river scene here with woods. There's a orangey mountainous type one here. There's this kind of almost sunset river one, and then the mountains one that we've done already. So forest river, mountains, or sunset river. Tell me which one you fancy, and while you guys are deciding, I'm just going to lay out all the pieces, because I think that's what they've done. They kind of, all the pieces are in the right order. I think that's really clever. One vote for sunset. I have to say sunset's probably my favourite here. So these are them when they're just flat. The river, the forest river one is quite pretty too, but I think the sunset's looking really nice. One more vote. If it's the same one, we'll just go for it. If it's not, we'll flip a coin. See which people want to do. Yes, no. No more votes? That's fine. We'll go with sunset. Let's put these carefully back again. The other thing I like is that there's no cutting or even poking out to do with this kit. Everything is pre-prepared for you, which is really good. There's another sunset vote. Thank you, Shona. Right. So let's have a look at the instructions, although I have to say they're all very straightforward. So you start off with your backing piece, and then you take the next piece and it tells you how many strips to put on each one. The larger ones need 3 rows of strips, so 6 strips each. Part of me wonders why they didn't just do really long strips. Maybe they decided it would be easier to stick them on and get them positioned correctly if you had smaller ones rather than really huge ones. So for everybody who's watching who was at the retreat, are you home and recovered? Did you have a nice time? My craft room is still absolute carnage. There's boxes everywhere and stuff everywhere, but I had a fabulous time, and we're already looking at the dates for next year, trying to see what venue we end up with, because we as much as we love that venue, it needs to be at the right price. And if they're going to start changing prices on us, then we may be forced to either increase our prices or change our venue. So we'll, as always, we'll ask you guys to see what you prefer, but I know cost is a factor for many people. The retreat was great. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Karen. We have so much fun crafting with you guys. And it's a lot of work, not gonna lie. We were absolutely knackered afterwards, but it's all worth it for all the fun that we have together. And the Christmas one is always good fun, feeling very festive. Although you've got all these bah humbug types that are saying it's still November, we shouldn't be talking about Christmas. I think we should be talking about Christmas. There's a lot to do for Christmas, but I don't have my Christmas tree up yet. I'll save that for December. I think if you put it up too early, then you kind of don't enjoy it as much. I don't know if that's the case, but right. So I've got the backing piece, the first layer, the second layer. Looking at that line right the way along, thinking that's a bit harsh, but actually we're about to put that on, which looks really pretty. I was wondering, these pieces, do you have to worry about how to position them? But you don't, because they're all cut to be the right size so that the bottom is all, you basically line every single piece up with the bottom. Now this one, we don't just do a normal diagonal, a normal horizontal line for this one. We put one there, and then it wants one up like that. There you go. You see, got to pay attention to the instructions sometimes to make sure you stick these things on correctly. Let's see. I'll line that up along the bottom, and then that goes on there like that. This is so pretty. It comes together so well. And then for this one, you had a brilliant time as well, Shona. So pleased. So pleased. There we go. And then another diagonal one, which goes like so. This comes together so easily. I might do another one after this. What do you think? Should I do a third one after this? Haven't had much time together. If people need to drop off, I'll not be offended. But these just come together so easily. Me busy saying use your bone folder, and then I just use my fingers for that one. Let's see the forest, please. Yeah, Karen's getting in there with her vote straight away. Let's do the forest for the third one then. Let's just put... Let's try putting the dots on the frame this time instead of... like on the cardboard piece instead of on the wooden piece, and see if that's any easier. To make sure I do it right at the top. Thing is, I want to make sure that the glue dots aren't visible once the cardboard is in the frame. What would you call this cardboard pit? Is it called a mount? I really should figure out the official names for things. There we go. So the glue dot's on there. Let's drop that into the frame. Just stick it down. Checking that you can't see it. No, you can't. So there you go. You can do it either way. Let's pop that in. On a mount, yes. Thank you very much, guys, for keeping me right. Second one. Really pleased with that. Really pretty. Right, let's finish off with the forest one. So it's weird because the Red Rock one is nice. It's very American. Reminds me of when I went to Vegas and some of the Red Rock mountains that we saw round about. Whereas the forest, it almost looks like super detailed. But it's still only just the 4 layers. So start off with our backing piece. Then let's put these along the bottom. You know, this would be a great kit to assemble with a friend. You know, just the two of you chatting over coffee, putting it together. You don't have to think or concentrate too much. It's just very straightforward. But you end up with something beautiful by the end of it. This is another, so 2 strips, 2 long strips, and then just the short strip along the top. Very Scottish. It does look very Scottish. then the next piece, this one. So it's the same as the one I've just done. So 2 long horizontal pieces and then a partial piece. And even you don't need scissors for it because they've got, now I answered my own question from earlier. I wondered why didn't they just give you really long pieces. It's because some of them you only need short pieces. So now I know. See, and again, I've put it on at an angle. It actually doesn't say to put it at an angle. It says to put it on horizontally, and I suspect, yeah, so you don't put it on as an angle because this piece goes up above that line. There we go. If I'd stuck it down, then it would have lost some of its 3D effect. I should pay more attention. Okay, so this one has the line along the bottom. And then one about here. There we go. This beautiful river piece getting added. You can almost imagine the salmon leaping upriver. And then this one along the bottom, and another one on the diagonal here. Bit at the front. Look at that. Comes together so quickly. Really, really easy and effective to do. So for this one, I'm actually just going to take my scissors and trim just the inside of the frames. Have these tiny, tiny little bits where you can see there's obviously been a square that's been popped out. Now, I very much doubt you'll have been able to see them on camera, but there's just these tiny, tiny little bits, and I feel happier for trimming them. I know some of you, if you're doing kits where you've got bits that you poke out, that you punch out, you like to just trim off those little bits. I'm only going to do it from the inner bits. I'm not going to do the outer side because there's no point. It's getting covered by the frame. So let's put these on here again. On, and then put these pieces in. So quick and effective. They're actually really fun to make as well. You can see me perhaps giving these at gifts at Christmas. I think of a few people that might enjoy one of these frames. Look at that. 8:20. Shall I just do the last one? Doesn't take long. I'll not be offended if you have to drop off, but I've done 3 out of the 4 now. I feel I might as well just finish it off, and I'll totally understand if you have to go. just very quickly pull together this red rock one. So they all have 4 layers, so they're all very similar in that respect. This one, honestly, it does make me think so much of when I went to Vegas last year for the leadership event. In fact, the resort that we stayed at was called the Red Rock. So you can see I'm being cheeky here, and I'm just doing some of these at a diagonal rather than trying to get them still there. You're still here, Shona. Thank you. And you're right, Karen, they are lovely. They are beautiful kits that are so easy to assemble. Right, then we've got this rocky piece. Reminds me a bit of Minecraft as well, Tom being a bit of a Minecraft fan. Do you know what? For these ones, instead of putting the strips right the way along, I'm doing them slightly at an angle, because then I don't have to worry about lining them up perfectly. And as long as it is putting glue in roughly the right place, do you know what? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And it's quicker as well. I know, I'm a rebel. Let's pop that there. Next we've got this, so it's almost like desert, cacti, flower, sandy type pieces. Let's put them slightly at an angle. I suppose all my lovely retreat attendees, did you all get home safely? The roads weren't too scary. I know we were worried about snow and bad weather. Hopefully everybody made it up the road in one piece without any dramas or worries. And then last piece along the front. Again, I'm doing it slight diagonals just to make it easier. There we go. And you've still got a whole load of strips left over at the end. So let's just very quickly run my scissors along these tiny little bits, which you don't have to. I didn't on the first two. You certainly wouldn't notice them when they were up on the wall. But I know some of you are perfectionists. These things are important. Let's put these on now. These frames are just super cute as well. They would go with every decor. You could have just one up by itself, or you could put all 4 of them up in a row or in a square together. I think they would look really nice. There we go. All done. There you go. So those are the 4 different frames that are part of this kit. So this is the Layered Landscapes kit. Which is your favourite? You've got the first one I did here, which is the mountain scene. Then you've got the second one, which is the sunset. Or sunrise, could go either way. I think sunset possibly. Then you've got this forest one with a stream going through the centre. And then finally you've got the red rock with the cacti and the flowers. I think they're mountains, forest or sunset probably the ones I like the best. But they are all just beautiful. I'm going to get them up on the wall somewhere. Lovely. Right. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. I hope you've had fun with that. I will have lots more goodies to show you and share with you next week. In the meantime, happy crafting. Have a great time.